Hello everyone, and today we're going to be going over how to learn AoE tanking as a warrior. Now, I'm gonna tell you, as if this is in a dungeon and you have a mage or a warlock or a hunter who spams multi-shot and they don't give a witch's tit about threat, none of this is going to work, okay? It's on the DPS, or at least 60% on the DPS to watch their threat. If they won't do it, you cannot force the issue. Alright? Alright, now that you know that. Having said that, there are some things you can do to try and optimize your strategy on how to keep shit on you instead of your squishy healer friend. Number 1. You should probably, if you can, pull some rage, charge in, if possible, and it won't get you pulling more mobs, meaning you have to know when to pull with a bow or a gun or whatever you have, and you gotta know when it's better to just charge right on there like a jackass for that sweet, sweet extra rage. So then you want to really quick, as soon as you can, might want to pop Blood Rage, pop Thunderclap, and then switch to defensive stance, demoralizing shout. Of course, I have anger management, so it makes it a bit easier for me to tank, but if you don't, it's going to make it harder, but you chose that, so it's your fault and not mine. This is why I don't level Fury anymore. And, yeah, you want to start either tab sundering. First, you want to hit shield block, so you can get that sweet revenge proc up, so that you can hit revenge on whatever your main target is. Hopefully, if you're in a dungeon, you either have a mage that can polymorph, you have a hunter that can trap something, you have, freaking, I don't know, crowd control. You can crowd control some things. If your group doesn't have any crowd control, good luck. I've done it before, it sucks, but you can. Just know that you're not going to have every mob on you 100% of the time. I don't even know if it's possible to have every mob on you 100% of the time. Your goal is about 80% of the time have all the mobs on you that are up. Because if you have a thing of 100% of all of them on you, you're probably going to disappoint yourself. Okay, now that expectations are out of the way. Because as you'll see, even I still lose some mobs on me sometimes. And for situations like this, you gotta know when to single pull, you gotta know when to go into the big camps. Because if you go into the big camps, hickledy-pickledy, and something runs away, you can end up very easily pulling more. This not only in open world, but also in dungeons. You have to know how to pull as a warrior. Or as a tank, period. If you don't know how to pull as a tank, your group's fucked. You are essentially the person pulling for your group, so you have to know how to pull. You have to know the dungeon. Or if you don't know the dungeon, you have to be able to, what's the word? Adapt quickly? If you don't know how to adapt quickly, people are going to die. Okay, so, like I said, you can either tab sunder each mob once. Preferably, you should probably sunder the main focus first. And then maybe throw a revenge on them. And then start tabbing through the other enemies, which hopefully is at max 1 in a dungeon. But as I said before, if you have a DPS who just does not even comprehend the concept of threat management, none of this is going to matter. They're going to pull, they're going to probably die, or your healer's going to heal them, and then they're going to be pulled to the healer, they're going to die, and it's a wipe. And it's not entirely your fault. It's mostly the DPS. The DPS is the one who does most of their own downfall, okay? They're the ones that have to watch their threat. If they don't watch their threat, they're a bad DPS in Classic. This is not BFA, this is not Legion. You cannot expect the tank to just keep everything on them at all times. Number two. The next thing is, if you are a healer, and I understand this sentiment, I'm a healer most of the time myself. If you get aggro from something, I know this seems counterintuitive, run toward the tank. Do not run away from the tank. If you run away from the tank, you make me turn around. I get hit in the back. I cannot block. I have to chase you. I'm not doing any threat to the other things. It makes everything a hell of a lot messier. Please don't run away from me. I swear I'm trying to help. Okay? The next thing is going... As you can see, this is going toward everybody. The next one is... You might want to get a threat meter on. You might notice I don't have one on this because, honestly, I've never really intended to tank in Classic, but I can do it. But I should get one soon. The next thing is you should try and pull rage if possible, but in a dungeon, make sure you do not go before the healer has decent mana. I always make sure to watch my healer's mana. If they're at 50% or above and it's a small pack ahead, you could consider pulling it. If they're at 20%, nah, I'm gonna wait a little bit. My rage might decay, but yeah, at least we won't all fucking die. Alright, the healer's mana bar is essentially your health bar, and you need to treat it as such. If the healer don't have any mana, you don't have any health coming in. Obvious. Some people might even say elementary, but you'd be surprised how many tanks don't watch this shit. Okay? Next thing. Try and keep your one-hand weapon skill leveled. Look, I know it feels good to do the big dick two-hand DPS as you're leveling. I know, all about it. I got a blue level 19 Searing Blade on my warrior right now. And that thing kicks ass. But there's a time and a place for every weapon. You gotta keep your as the thing as a warrior, you only have a few things to worry about. You gotta keep your one hand skilled. You gotta keep your two hands skilled. You need at least decent armor, which my warrior's in all greens, so that's fine. And that's about it. That's all you really gotta worry about. You gotta learn. You gotta know how to tank. You gotta worry about your gear. You gotta worry about your one and two hand skilled, and that's about it. If you can do those things, you're fine. Also, this is a really bad thing trying to tank casters, because casters just suck ass. Especially if you can't line of sight pull, which out here in the middle of the wide plains of Westfall, you can't really do that. So, yeah. So be careful of that. Just try and spread the threat around, otherwise this is gonna happen. And that was a mistake on my part, okay? Things got real messy because of my own stupidity there. I didn't spread the threat around. Healers kind of going everywhere. To be fair, you know, it's kind of scary when things peel off of the tank and you see your health just drop. The first instinct is to run. Just please don't do that. Believe me, I know. It sucks. But yeah, you want to try and at least spread the threat around a little bit so that things don't peel off of you. But in a group with a dungeon, hey man, it's a crapshoot if you have no crowd control. Just do your best. Alright, try and keep as many things hitting you. Try and keep as many things hitting you as you can. Will it be all of them? No, probably not. Hell, it might not even be a majority of the issue. It hopefully is. Just keep things off of the healer as much as you can. The DPS, they made their bed. If one DPS dies, it goes slower. If the healer dies, it's a wipe. Prioritize the healer and yourself above all else as a tank, okay? The next thing is, one of the final thing is, have a macro to switch from two hands, your two hand to a one hand and a shield. Just do it. Have your potions keybound. Drink a potion if your health's getting real low. Help your healer out. Your health is your own management as well. It's not just the healers. If you have shield wall, get ready to pop that if you have to. And that's about all I got. You're responsible for yourself and the group, and you better take responsibility for that as much as you can, and try and help as much as you can. That's it. I'm out. Good luck, boys and girls.